Hello, one and all, and welcome to episode 1 of Music League 2. I'm your host, John and Music. I did this on my second channel the first time around, but yeah, we're back doing this shit again. Music League 1, I think Kanye won, who is down here. This team won. And they won against the Incel Core team, who was taking on Prague in their first matchup. But first, I should probably introduce you to the teams. Group A is Golf, Incel Core, NXP, Negative XP, and Progressive Rock. Gothic music, whatever. Group B is Punk Rock, which is just punk rock. Explicitly kind of more the 70s stuff, but it is basically just punk rock. It can also be a standard for the genre as a whole. Shugazi, shoegaze, neo-folk, or shoegaze and adjacent genres, really. Neo-folk, dark folk, shit like that. RYM, a stand-in for Raider music. Kanye West, he's only really here because, again, he had a big year last year, and he is probably one of my favorite musicians of all time. And then by big year, I mean kind of in the wrong sense. He was kind of controversial, obviously, but it is the way it is there, whatever. And then there's YTPMV, YouTube Poop Music Videos, I guess is the official term there, but yeah, YTPMV. We should probably all be somewhat familiar. If not, check out this album, Deep Dark Trench. Christ, 3 T's at the end there. Very good album, I'd say. Jezebel Gabergably is another one, with outside of already NXP and Instacore, which are already in the same fucking group, which is kind of weird. And then Shit Ghazi in Group C. Interesting. And then for Group D, it's Metal, Wankcore, Vapor, and the Black Metal. Hilariously, I decided back in like mid 2025 to call them BLM. If you know, you know. It's kind of ironic there, really. But anyways, yeah. So the question is, which teams am I going to go with here? So we're going to only play one match per day. I have a couple of ideas. I was thinking either NXP and Punk Rock playing for irony's sake, or just doing based on the champion, which would be Kanye versus Black Metal. Also kind of funny considering the one time Kanye wore a Burzum shirt. I have to figure out the pitchers are for both teams. I think the pitchers here, I actually might want worse pitchers, or at least I should maybe look at the lineups instead. They actually are about the same. The lineup for the Negative XP team admittedly doesn't look great. And the lineup for the Punk Rock team looks, I would say, quite a bit better. It's not great by any standard, but it's at least a bit more decent, I'd say. Then let's look at the Kanye team. Are there any good hitters here? There is Jason Coombs. Literally, his name is like the Coomer meme, so it's fucking weird, I guess. Chris Albright has their lineup looks decently, like, I wouldn't say stacked, but it looks at least a bit more balanced than the first two we looked at. A bit more, I'd say. Only a bit more. And the Black Metal lineup looks, honestly, all these lineups don't look good, but I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here, but I don't think I am. I think maybe the teams are just shit, I don't know, that I wanted to pick out. Are there any other better teams is a good question here. Maybe is this team good on the Gothic team actually looks pretty decent, I'd say. Except for Jeff Davis, but I mean, he's a catcher, so who gives a shit about him? I guess this also might evolve. Wilson Solis looks like a really great batter. Maybe we go with this matchup instead, but I don't know if I want to like go with a different matchup. Neo Folk and Golf could be an interesting matchup, but I think I want to stick to a divisional matchup. And NXP and no, it's actually NXP and Punk Rock. That might be a better one. I'm not gonna lie. And there's Kanye and Black Metal. I think I'm gonna go with my original plan of Kanye and Black Metal. I think that's the best. And even if it is not a great lineup, we're gonna go with it anyways and just see how this goes here. This will be, I think, the only match we're able to play because unfortunately, it just auto sims the rest of the matches. Lineup wise, Kanye looks like he's doing a lot better for his team. He's winning 5 of the matchups, 2 of them are tied, and the first 2 batters are generally in favor of the Burzum team. Or Black Metal team, whatever. Let's go here. Let's see how this ends up going. So generally speaking, yes, it is looking like Kanye has the better team to start. We'll see if that remains the case here. Try to make sure there's no audio coming out. The way we're going to do this is we'll simulate the first at bat, and then we just kind of, if nothing happens, then we just sim out. And then if there's a guy on first, we do run it. And if there's a guy anywhere on at first, we do runners in scoring position. We do this, and then we just hope that he either gets on second or that he doesn't get or that he gets out somehow. But that was one out, so we're just gonna sim the half, and I think we're just gonna do this until something happens. Which sure enough, something does. One out. Alex Quiroz on third, second baseman, and Jason Coombs on second. Chris Albright at the plate now. Chris Albright strikes out. The pitcher, mind you, for Burzum, or fuck, I keep messing it up. Black Metal, BLM, is Condra Molgiana. We'll see how this goes here. And that will end up being the third out. There we are. Bottom of the first here, Charlie Huss at the plate here for Black Metal. And that will be, I think, at least probably a double there. And it is a double for Huss, the American, and he will get the second. Good for him. The next batter, because if it's second or third, if there's a batter on second or third, then we play the next at bat. I think it's usually the same thing if there's a home run, just to see if it's back to back, because obviously that's usually cool to see. Like if there's a home run out of nowhere, like there's 2 outs, no men on base, and there's just a home run. Juan Perez at the plate now. Perez. And the Black Metal Runner is going to head home, and that's already 1-0 on the board for them. I was not expecting that. But already they're the first ones to take the lead. Juan Perez on second, Alex Santana at the plate. He can do some damage here, I suspect here. Instead, he is walked the full count. Next up, Ricky Calderon for the Black Metal team. And that ball is going to go into the outfield. And it looks like another runner is going to try to score for BLM, and sure enough, they do. It is 2-0 Black Metal BLM. And now Santana on second, Calderon on first, and Keith Shields at the plate. Shields at the plate. That ball is presumably going to be caught by the center fielder, and it is. No one advances off of it anyways, especially not Alex Santana. And next up, first baseman Ramon Zaragoza. And that's a double play to end off the bottom of the first. Black Metal does score 2 as Kanye is left trailing now 2-0 as we enter their half of the second inning. Up for the Kanye West, Andy Lundell. Lundell, that's going to be a pretty short hit ball there, and that will be the first out. Let's see, does anything else happen? No. Nothing ever happens. Bottom of the second, Dave Scott at the plate. Dave Scott strikes out. Will anything else happen here? No. As I said, nothing ever happens. Jerry Salenti, the pitcher, is now up. He's probably either going to strike out or walk, but it seems like he's... No, he didn't actually do either. He just hit the ball, pop fly, into pretty deep into the infield. And that's the first out. Anything happening? No. Nothing ever happens. Huss is back starting up for Black Metal. And he will, I think, be safe there. And that means he is now on first. We'll just do until RSP. Will anything come of it? Yes. Perez now on first. Huss on second. Alex Santana at the plate. Calenti, or Salenti, I think it really is how it's pronounced, is still on there. He could have easily made the throw there, man. What the fuck? But either way, the runner on second is out, but Santana is on first and Huss is on third. Ricky Calderon at the plate now. Calderon now going up that ball, and it will be, I think, maybe a run scoring again for Black Metal. And it is. So now it's 2 outs. The runner on, somebody was out, but either way, the batter, I think, was out there, dumbass. Alex Santana on first. Keith Shields at the plate, and the runner from third scores, bringing it to 3-0 in favor of Black Metal. Keith Shields at the plate. Shields will pop fly into right field, and that will end it off. And now it is 3-0. Jason Coombs on the plate. I'm cooming! Kanye West. Strikeout. Still has nothing happened yet? Nope. Kanye really has only gotten 2 hits, and I think both of them were in the first inning. Pretty pathetic showing by them so far. Ramon Zaragoza now up in the bottom of the 4th for Black Metal. 1 out. Dave Scott now at the plate, but I think we're going to skim through this, and sure enough we do. Top of the 5th, Andy Lundell at the plate for Yay. And he strikes out. Still really not much luck for them so far, the Kanye team. Mojana now up to pitch, or to hit, sorry. Mojana will ground the ball to the third baseman, and that is the first out against BLM, Black Metal, whatever. I have to specify because it is Black Metal. Charlie Huss on second, Juan Perez at the plate. Perez. That's going to be over to first, and that's the second out. Charlie Huss on third, and Alex Santana at the plate. Santana will have a very shallow hit into the foul area, and that will be the end of the 5th inning. No run score. It's still 3-0 in favor of Black Metal. Next up, the leadoff hitter for Kanye, Carlos Mendoza, top of the 6th. Mendoza will lead it off for Kanye. And that will be the first out. Anything more? Nope. Ricky Calderon now up for Black Metal. That will be a walk. And I think, was that another walk? Might have been. Presumably, I don't know. I think it was. Calderon on second, Keith Shields on first, Ramon Zaragoza. Zaragoza, the first man, and the second is out. But they keep the runner on third and first, which means it's now Calderon on third, Zaragoza on first, and Dave Scott at the plate now. Scott 0 for 2 today. And will he continue? It looks like he will continue to be hitless. And that ball is in deep into the infield, and that is the second out. Mike Gates at the plate. Gates, that's going up. And that will be hit all the way deep into center field. And they're going to try to score a run, but I think he's out there, and he is. However, Black Metal does score 1. Their greed got him in the end, and now they cannot score 2. As it turns out, they're top of the 7th. Chris Albright at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Will he be any better? And he walks, so not really any better to that count, but is the way it is. Anything else? Nope. Next up, again for Black Metal, Condra Moljana, the pitcher, now up. The 7th inning stretch is over now, mind you. And that's 1 out. And Charlie Huss is on second with Juan Perez at the plate. Now in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. And that ball is hit into center field, a little bit inward towards home plate. And that will be a run-scoring RBI single by Juan Perez, as now Black Metal leads 5-0 over Kanye, our former champions. That's a very interesting result, I'd say there. Juan Perez on second, Alex Santana at the plate. Santana will strike out. Next up, Ricky Calderon. And that will be nothing there. Now, next up, Edwin Fernandez for Kanye West. He walked the last at bat. 1 out. Now it's Munguia on second. Mendoza on first. Alex Quiroz at the plate. Can he drive in a run? That's a good question. The ball's going back. And it will be not caught, and there might be some runs scoring here for Kanye. And it looks like they're, I think, going to get an RBI double, but it is Mendoza on third, Quiroz on second. Only 1 run scored for Kanye. I'm a bit shocked about that, but this is the way it is there. For them, Jason Coombs now at the plate. Can they drive in more runs? Already 2 outs, however. That ball is going deep. Will it be out of here? It is not, and that in fact ends the top of the 8th. 5-1. Black Metals remains in the lead, and presumably that could be for the rest of the game unless Kanye can score 5 runs. Well, we'll see this inning, but we'll see about that. But probably not going to happen there. 4 runs to tie it, at the very least. Not going to happen if I had to guess. Top of the ninth, Kanye, Chris Albright at the plate. Albright will be the first out. We'll watch the remaining 2 at bats, so you know what I want. Yep, that's it. They did have a man on first, but it doesn't matter. Black Metal wins over Kanye 5-1 there. Very interesting game, and I think that's it. Let's see what other games happened here. The top player was Tom McCorkle for the Wayne Core team. Starting pitcher, he did, I guess, pretty well. Then Malik Thompson for Shitgazi, another pitcher, and then Connor Moljana for, again, Black Metal. Looking at the win-loss record, Incel Core looking to make a run at the title this time around, along with Negative XP winning his game against Punk Rock, finally confirming that Negative XP is indeed punk music and punk rock. Golf and Progressive Rock lost their matchups. Meanwhile, Shugazi and Neofolk would win, presumably against those teams. Or let me actually see, who did Shugazi play? No, they played Reader Music and won 7-0. Holy shit. Negative XP won a pretty hard-fought game, 2-0 over Punk Rock. Very nice. And Succord barely squeaked out a win against Progressive Rock, 4-3. Jezebel Burgably defeated Vaporwave once and for all. Can't believe I'm stringing out the sentence, but actually it was in extra innings. She had to score 3 runs in the top of the 12th, with Vaporwave only managing 1 in the bottom of the 12th. In the end, Jezebel Burgably wins there. Metal wins over Shitgazi 5-3, which is funny because the Shitgazi pitcher won second best performance in the day. It's very interesting. Whatever. YTPMV wins over Wankor, which is funny because Wankor literally has the best fucking player according to this shit, so I don't know. Nunez wins player of the game. He had a great fucking game, and he's a great player. What the fuck? YTPMV wins over Wankor 4-3, and of course that's the game we already watched. Looking at the standings, I got not really much that we can pierce out for the moment. There's only one game, and I think there's only 4 games in the entire series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so there's after this, I guess it'll be Jezebel, Burgably, YTPMV, and Shitgazi for Black Metal, which I probably will try to avoid doing duplicates here because it is kind of against the whole point, but it might end up being impossible. This could be Golf and Shugazi could be an interesting matchup, even though one loss and 1-1. Insocore and Negative XP could actually be maybe the matchup I do, because I've already wanted to look at Insocore's team. That could be a pretty good one. Outside of that, there's these 2 I'm going to try to avoid. I do want to get Jezebel Burgably, the team, into for a match. Shitgazi and Vapor, not really a stellar lineup there, but it could be a decent match, maybe. Maybe a hitting frenzy, but I doubt it. Metal and Wankor. So I think we're definitely, next time around, we'll be watching the Incel Core Negative XP match. That's about it for today's video. Just one final look at the standings here, just because I don't think I actually pointed out fully. Incel Core Negative XP win the first game in our top 2 in Group A. Shugazi and Neofolk, top 2 of Group B. Jezebel Burgably and YTPMV, top 2 of Group C. Top 2 of Group D, Black Metal and Metal. That's it there. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.